Hello, everyone. Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We're happy to have you with us on the second day of our TaiyangNews Module Reliability 2024 event. My name is Michael Schmela. I'm the Managing Director of TaiyangNews, all about solar, and I'm happy to welcome you on behalf of my TaiyangNews team. So after Shavan, our technology head, managed the first day, I'm taking care for the second one. Just a few technical terms. Okay, then let's go into this. Before we go into the technical terms and some organizational stuff, just let me summarize what we learned on the first day, which was actually pretty exciting. So we had several presentations from research institutes, from our research organizations, from leading module makers, and from leading backsheet companies, and it was interesting to learn what they are doing on reliability at a time actually where everyone is so much under cost pressure. So the keynote was given by Stephen Xurep from Kiva PI Berlin. And I think that was one of his slides, and it was pretty interesting that he showed that when he talked about his pre-shipment inspections, that actually only 10% of the modules tested in 2022-2023 passed the pre-shipment checks without finding any defects. Okay, we are not talking about how serious that was, but I think that's an impressive number. We look at the second presentation. We see that when JA, one of the global leading module makers and integrated companies, showed their data on quality and how they look at this topic in this times, they clearly said that they do not compromise on reducing quality. Reliability is key, and that they are simply rather looking at solutions to become more efficient in the manufacturing processes and look at new and cheaper solutions like zero bus bars, new frame solutions, and different bill of materials. So I think there is the pressure, and companies are looking at that, and some are doing that better than others, and that's what we're talking also about today. The next presentation was given by Astrology, and that was interesting. I just picked this one slide, but we found that also interesting simply because there's so many things you can talk about reliability, and they showed, for example, that they're using different ALD methods in the cell process, and that plate ALD versus tube ALD showed simply later different anti-UVID properties for the final product. Next slide. The third company that presented was JTPV, and they dived into the UVID phenomenon, and Xinrui An showed simply different methods to suppress UVID, and he highlighted simply that ARC films with gradient RNDs RIs are simply very, very important. Next slide. And we had one backsheet manufacturer speaking, so we were happy to have Imco Goatsward from Endurance, the American backsheet manufacturer, with us. And he talked obviously about the company's polyolefin-based encapsulations and the benefits of using that. And he also showed obviously also how over time the backsheets changed and how the fluorine layers got smaller, thinner and thinner, and that was obviously considered in the past a must-have, and got less and less important. And he also pointed at the translucent backsheets simply as with light trapping technologies that improved yield, which is obviously important as companies in the market tend more and more towards glass solutions. So backsheet is still there, and it has its benefits, was the message. Next slide. Again, UVID was an important topic, also mentioned by PVEL, which showed a summary of their latest scorecards from the last quarter. So that was an updated version of what was published in the summer. So if you haven't seen the presentation yesterday, you might want to check when we publish it later on. And he compared, and that was interesting, for different testing methods, always the different technologies where sometimes the one versus the other performed a little better, and heterojunction mostly tried a little bit more, was a little bit worse than the others, but not always. Finally, and I really liked that slide a lot, we had Silvana Ovaid from NREL waking up early to talk to us, very early to talk to us. And she showed actually, on the one hand, a lot of field data where bifacial, which all new cell technologies are having by nature, is degrading actually faster than monofacial modules. But the slide I wanted to point at was this one, where we simply see when the solar is dominating the energy system in the future. And I think here you see some optimistic announcements when we have in 2040 maybe 50 terawatts up from 2 today, that degradation might have a severe impact. So the more you can, or we can actually reduce degradation, the less solar, of course, needs to be replaced. So she said here, so on the right side, you can see the different degradation ratios and what's the impact in terms of terawatts. And so only 0.1 reduction in degradation can save 3 terawatt of replacements. So basically more than what's installed today. That's future music, but we should keep that in mind. Finally, we had also a panel, and here I think it was interesting. They touch obviously very many topics, but one was, for example, that field testing data is really key to building module reliability. And while long-term data may also become obsolete simply because technology is changing so much. And it was really interesting also to see how JA Solar showed how they are working on still meeting their quality, the market's quality expectations, and also their own targets in this challenging times. While the testing labs she really showed the challenges, especially also when you took at the mere volume that's being produced. So that means when you kind of do one project of 200 megawatt or so, you're talking about I don't know, almost 400,000 modules. So that's a lot to test and to look at when you want to control the bill of materials, which is not so easy. Today, we want to talk about, thanks first of all to our sponsors. Yes, without them, these events would not be possible. So thanks in particular to Longi and JA, our diamond sponsors, Astronergy, our gold sponsor, GTAI, our silver sponsor, our bronze sponsors First and GCL, and our silicon sponsors AE Solar and Endurance. And when we look at today's program, we have a very interesting set of speakers today. We start first with one of the world's leading research institute, Fraunhofer ISE in Germany, where we have Ingrid Hedrich, the head of the group's degradation analysis and modeling, giving the keynote. Then we have one of the world's largest companies, Longi, and GCL, both heavily vertically integrated, talking about their view on reliability. And then we have the world leader in backsheets and also active encapsulation, Hangzhou First, speaking about the material side of module reliability. And then, and I think that's also good to have, a Western company, AE Solar, which is specialized, not as big as the top ones, but very much focusing on quality and having a strong R&D unit. And they will simply also show how AE Solar is tackling the challenges of reliability today. Finally, we will close the conference with a panel discussion, trying to answer the questions how to ensure module reliability in times of unseen record low pricing challenges. I will moderate that. We will have Hamid from AE Solar, Ingrid from Fraunhofer, and Stephen from First, who will present before. It will be also great to have Jörg Althaus from Clean Energy Associates, who will kickstart the panel with a short presentation on some field results. So in any case, stay tuned and please stay until the final panel, I think, where we will wrap up yesterday and today's learning. Just a quick organizational topics. So we have this chat window where we've already written to you. Please use that. We consider this sort of our coffee room where you can not only ask questions, the presenters usually answer most of the questions there, but it's also a forum of discussion to make the event as interactive as it can be.